Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, family? Fellow scientists and fellow mystics. Now, for today, I wanted to talk about, finish my second part of the video on the middle path, balance and or harmony, right? And I wanted to talk about some of the teachings of Ibn Arabi. So we're going to talk about two words. The first word is the Arabic word Tashbih. Now, Tashbih means nearness, closeness, imminence, right? So when we talk about imminence, as it pertains to spirituality, we're talking about, for example, like idol worship. That's pretty much seeing. So when we talk about closeness, nearness, or imminence, or tashbih, we're talking about the perspective, looking at it like seeing human characteristics in the deity, seeing human characteristics in God. For example, when the holy books talk about God, moving, that implies that God is a physical being in time and or space, right? I'm not saying this, I'm just saying what it's implying. And or we talk about God hearing his creation, or God seeing his creation. This is tashbih. This is the closeness, the imminence. And it can also go in the reverse, where so you got God being attributed human characteristics, and you can also have human being attributed God-like characteristics. Okay, so it goes both ways. That is tashbih, imminence, imminence, nearness, closeness. It can also be manifested in seeing God in nature. So like pantheism, seeing God in the trees, seeing the manifestation of deity, or the power of deity in the sky, the sunset, the stars, the moon. This is all tashbih. And if you look into like the Quran or the Hadith, you can see it in when they say that when you reach a certain level as a Muslim, that I think this is a Hadith, that God becomes the ears with which you hear, the eyes with which you see. So that all of this is an example of tashbih. And then you have Tanzih, which means transcendence, right? Transcendence. This is like a lot, or God is unfathomable. Like you couldn't even possibly understand or comprehend its greatness. And so this can be seen in like Yoruba cosmology, with Oludumare being like so grand and so big, like humans can't even really communicate with it, or really like they go through forces of nature and Orisha and stuff like this. So Tanzih is transcendence. It can also be seen in like Kabbalistic cosmology with Ein Sof, endless, just infinite. Like we can't comprehend infinity. It's impossible. So that that's Tanzih. And scripturally you can see it in like the Quranic verse. I'm paraphrasing. There is none like him. There is nothing like him. There is none like him. So that's transcendent terminology. And so according to Ibn Arabi, the true knower, the Arif in Arabic, the true knower, or Gnostic, right, harmonizes tashbih, imminence, and tanzih, transcendence. It's a balance, right? As you know, balance is very important in life and spirituality and everything. So you could take something essential like water, right? Water, ain't nothing wrong with water, but drink too much of it and it could kill you. So there has to be a balance. So it's the same thing when you reach a mastery level, or when you reach that Gnostic, when you're a knower, you are able to internally harmonize tashbih, imminence, and tanzih, transcendence. You know, even when you look at the Tashbih and you look at those, you know, when Abraham destroyed all the 360 idols in the Kaaba, were those Arabs, pagans, really wrong? They saw the deity within each. You can see deity manifested in everything, like all in all, right? Everything in everything. So I wouldn't say they were necessarily wrong. They just more leaning. They were probably extremely to the left, extreme Tashbih. That can also be extreme Tanzih, extreme transcendence, where you just out there, you just spaced out. You know what I'm saying? So the balance comes in. The true knower is balanced. And that's the middle path. And if you want to know more about Ibn Arabi, I would suggest that you read some of the Orientalist scholars on his work, such as William Chittick and Martin Lings. They translated some of his work, because he has a large amount of work. And then, you know, once you digest that, I would suggest you study his actual works. For example, Bezels of Wisdom and the Meccan Revelations. So with that, I'm gonna say peace, stay balanced, and you know, always have a scientific mind, question everything, but also understand that there are things above and beyond, scientific inquiry. Peace.